Hi guys, welcome to A Cumbrian Lad Outdoors and welcome to today's video. Bit of a cheeky late one today. I've been over west on the training course for work. So I packed my rucksack, got straight away from the site I was training, and we've headed out to Grasmere, the beautiful village of Grasmere. That's where I've parked up. If you haven't visited Grasmere yet, highly recommend you do so. Beautiful place with some lovely walks and some cracking places to eat as well. And we are on our way up to the summit of Silver How for a wild camp. A solo wild camp, in fact. I haven't done one of those in a while, so it's going to be some much needed head clearing space and chill out time. We are following this very clear path through the backside of a National Trust estate, surrounded by some beautiful mountains. Just past that tree there is Helm Crag, and just up that valley in the centre of shot there is the path up to Easdale Tarn. Both of those I've done videos on, so if you scroll down you'll be able to check those out. So for the moment I'm just going to crack on, and as always I'll bring you back along the way to show you the beautiful views of the Lake District as they open up. Let's go. It's been about 10 minutes since I've spoke to you last. We are now off that lovely flat tarmac path and we're on the trail proper. Initially quite steep, gravelly and stony, walking through bracken, and if I turn you around you can see just how much we've ascended in a short space of time. So we're now looking down upon the 595, the road that leads down to Grasmere and Ambleside. And we're already about halfway up Helm Crag. You can see the tall bracken that I've been talking about, but the path is now starting to open up and it looks like we're going through a stile. The sun does keep poking its head out, but quite often it's behind the clouds. Despite that, it is quite muggy. It was 26 Celsius when I pulled up in the car, and Deeks the clip of us sweating bullets. But absolutely worth it, this one, for a cheeky late Friday wild camp. Also tonight, I've got a couple of new bits of kit to show you as well. I've got myself a new tent, and I've got a new summer sleeping mat. Last week was my birthday, and with feeling a little under the weather and the weather itself being pretty terrible, I didn't get out, so I'm really chomping at the bit to try out these new two pieces of kit tonight. And now we get our first glimpse of the summit of Silver How, apart from when I was down in the village of Grasmere. I can just see the summit poking in the distance there. There we go. Right in the centre of shot there is where we're heading. Ooh, it's warm. Wow. According to the map, I'm now approximately 2/3 of the way up. So not too far to go, but by the look of it, it's the steepest section so far. I did have a little view of Grasmere Lake before, but we've got our proper first glimpse of it now. I've just wandered off the path to take a wee break and let this cool breeze cool my face down. You can see Rydal water as well, so let's have a look. Not too far off the summit now. You can see Loughrigg Fell, Grasmere, Rydal, onto the caves and right down the valley. Yeah, a couple more minutes here just to cool down and then I'll push on to the summit for the night. The sky is now clearing and the sun has come out to play. It is baking hot. It must be easily approaching the high 20s, possibly even early 30s Celsius at the moment. Since I last spoke to you, I've followed a relatively flat but undulating path and I'm just at the last final ascent up to the summit of Silver How. You can see what I mean there. It has its ups and downs, but it's been relatively easy going since we last spoke. Beautiful, green, lush, rolling hills. And like I say, I'm just at that final little push now to reach the summit. And the sweat's getting in my eyes. Oh, it stings. Oh, right, I'll bring you back at the top. Well, we have reached the summit. 360 views. And when I say 360 views, I really do mean it. I really do. The point where I'm stood now is where Google Maps says where the summit is. Over there is where there's a cairn, so I'll tap that in a minute, but I'll find the highest rock here and say silver how, done and boshed. That is the route that I came up that way. We have beautiful views over Grasmere and Rydal water. Cracking view of Coniston and a cracking view down on Elterwater. There is a bit of a mine there we can just see, and look at this, Langdale rolling hills all around us. And there's loads of places to pitch as well. I've got the whole spot to myself, so I'm spoilt for a choice of pitch in my new tent tonight. And before we do anything else, just to make doubly sure, I'm going to go and tap that summit cairn just over there. Yeah, just to make doubly sure. There's no doubting. Silver how, definitely done, definitely boshed. Right, I'm going to go and find my pitch for the night, get the chair set up, cool down. Yeah, I'm going to grab a soft drink. No beers tonight, we'll discuss that later on in the video, but yeah, just a couple of bottles of Coke tonight. I'm going to sit and take these views in, get the tent up, and then we'll have a look at my new tent and sleeping mat. Well, I've been sat in my chair for a little while now, just sat chilling, cooling off, taking these amazing views in, and honest to God, I think this is probably one of the best, if not the best pitches I've had in my life. If you haven't been up Silver How, I highly recommend that you do so. But time is ticking on, so I've got my new tent set up. I can't remember whether I actually told you guys what it was, but it is the Terra Nova Northern Lite 2. I've been looking for a bigger, more spacious tent for about a year and a half now. Now, the Northern Lite 2 hasn't been out for that long, but as soon as I saw it, I loved it. And yeah, I went and got it. Now, £650 brand new from TerraNova is a bit expensive, but I didn't pay that. I got it second hand from a fellow YouTuber, Aj Ventures. So a big thank you to Aj for selling me my new little beauty. Thank you, mate. And here she is in all the glory. My first attempt at putting it up, and I think I've pretty much got it bang on. Exoskeleton supported inside the two massive vestibules by walking poles. You can see we've got a good stiff breeze and she just isn't moving. I haven't put any gear in yet, so we're going to have a quick peek in just so you can see how roomy it is. You can see here the vestibules are absolutely enormous. Half thick mesh and half thin mesh for ventilation on the inner door, and it opens all the way around so it folds completely out the way, just like that. Stick our heads in, and this thing is enormous inside. I would say probably fairly comfortable 2-man and an extremely comfortable 1-man. At either end you've got extra ventilation on the outside, and on the inside you can either have the single skin or you can double it up if it's blown hooly. We've got a little pocket on that side there just for putting your bits and bats in, and the same on the other side. I haven't even been in her yet and I already love her. Looking forward to spending my first night in this, I really am. I'm not going to go through any stats and the hydrostatic head and heights and space tonight. I'm going to get used to it on a few camps first, and then I'm going to bang a full review video out for you guys if you guys are interested. So keep an eye out for that over the next few videos if you're interested in buying this tent. I'm going to get all my gear in, get it set up, and then I'll bring you back. We'll have a look at my new summer sleeping mat, and then it's time for some more chill out time. I am fully set up inside the tent now. Been sat outside for maybe 15-20 minutes, just again taking these breathtaking views in. One thing I have noticed about the Northern Lite 2 is this side door opens that way and this side door opens that way. So virtually whichever way you pitch it, you're gonna have a wind-free vestibule. So I'm really liking that touch there. They've really thought about this tent, they really have. Inside the vestibule we have the usual suspects. Statutory all day breakfast for morning, beef and potato for tea tonight, tactical duck looking after the jet boil. If you know, you know. Electricals and waterproofs and my drone and such and such. I've got my one season sleeping bag with my pillow and my new summer sleeping mat, which is made by Aksoul. Now I was approached by Aksoul and they have sent me this for free. So it is technically a paid promotion, but as always my opinions will be 100% honest, and if I think it's crap then I'll tell you guys it's crap. Now I don't think anything's going to beat my Sea to Summit Etherlite XT Extreme. However, the last time I used it in the summer I was just too warm. So having a less insulated mat for winter to help you keep cool is definitely a bonus. Again, I'm not going to go through all the stats just yet. I'm going to use it a few times and then I'll bang up a review video for you guys if you're interested in it. But certainly for now it seems well made, it seems durable, it's got poppers on the side so you can join more than one together so they don't move. It's got a pump built in so you take that off and either stamp or press on it to pump it up, and it seems really well made. It's plenty long enough. So again, I'm looking forward to trying that tonight in the new tent, which I already love and I still haven't been inside it properly. I am really enjoying today's last minute solo wild camp. I really am, as well as enjoying a couple of new pieces of kit as well. We are coming up to around about 8 o'clock now. I still haven't had my tea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the camera down. I'm just going to get my water boiling and let my tea rehydrate. While that happens, I'm going to get the drone up, get some drone footage for you and some more pictures, and then hopefully a lovely sunset time lapse over there. So before I knock the camera off, we'll have one quick look around at this glorious Lake District scenery. No words needed really. Right, time to put the camera down for a while and I'll bring you back, maybe for some food and definitely before bedtime. It is now 5 to 9 and I can honestly say, hand on heart, this is the best pitch, the best wild camp I've ever had in my life. I've got my food rehydrated now, ready for something to eat. The wind has died down. As you can see, the sunset's happening behind me. I've got the time lapse going. We've still got a lovely cool breeze, but that's all it is. And these views, man, honestly, it brings a tear to the eye. It really does. Wow, wow. Grasmere is like a mirror, like a mill pond. It's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. I'll give you one final 360. I know you've had a couple already, but it's just mind-blowing. It really is. Then I'm going to grab something to eat. And then one final crack before I go to bed. Look at that sunset. Got one other guy here, just set his MSR up. Look at that. Look at that. Colours in the sky are nothing short of mind-blowing, exceptional. Right, I'm gonna go and get something to eat and just continue taking all this in. It's absolutely blowing my mind. And that really says something for a Cumbrian lad, born and raised in Cumbria. I thought I'd seen it all, but wow. So yeah, it's scran time, and I'll see you guys one last time before bedtime. Well guys, that's me back in my tent. What a fantastic camp, what a fantastic pitch. I've had just the best night. As I mentioned earlier in the video, no beers tonight. Since doing the Cumbria Way, I've put a few pounds back on. A few of my friends said I was starting to look ill, I was starting to look too thin. But being the ever conscious, self-conscious guy, I'm well aware since putting a few pounds back on that the old beer gut's starting to come back. So I'm off the beer for now, and I'm hoping to get back in the gym very soon. Absolutely loving this new tent. The space inside here is just gigantic. The porch size is like nothing I've ever had before, both sides. It pitches well, it's taut, it's not moving in the wind. The only downside for me so far is with the trekking poles supporting it, giving it the extra support in the wind. It does make it a little bit tricky to get in and out. But I'll reserve judgment on that. So far, I think I might have a new favourite tent, guys. I really do. We'll see how tonight goes. But yeah, so far so good. Happy days. New tent, new sleeping mat. The best pitch of my life. Absolutely fantastic. So for now, I will leave you to enjoy the drone footage that I've got and the pictures that I've got, and I will most definitely see you guys in the morning.
I dare you to fix me. I'm crossing the line again, falling on my knees. No stranger to pain, it's never ending, it's only something I can't forget. My heart won't let it rest, but you keep on forgiving. Admit that I'm afraid. If I let go of this pain, am I completely betrayed? There's no air left to breathe. I'm drowning, vultures are circling me. Around it, I need to fight. I know it's just so hard to let it go. Shine a light I can see. Something I can't forget. My heart won't let it rest, but you keep on forgiving. Admit that I'm afraid. If I let go of this rage, am I completely betrayed? Something I can't forget. My heart won't let it rest, but you keep on forgiving. Oh, admit that I'm afraid. If I let go of this rage, am I completely betrayed? My heart, my love, my life, the price. It's hard to fight goodbye.
everyone, it's about 4:30. I've had a great night's sleep despite the wind. You can probably see the inner of the tent still wobbling away, but the wind got up last night, to be honest. I'd estimate around about the 40-45 mile an hour, and the tent never moved, man, never moved. The ventilation at the back there has been brilliant. I have zero condensation in this tent this morning, and obviously when I'm laid down, that little airflow that there is goes straight over the top here, so you barely feel the wind at all. So a super good first night in my new tent. Absolutely loving it. Not a bad night on the Aksoul sleeping mat either. I didn't feel any cold at all, and relatively comfortable for this style of mat. Is it as comfortable as the Sea to Summit E-Filler XT Extreme? No, and I wasn't expecting it to be either. A little stiff this morning due to that slight lack of comfort, but I didn't feel any heat loss whatsoever going down. It was quite surprisingly, really. I was expecting to feel a little bit more cool coming up from underneath. Oh, should we have a quick look outside the tent and see what the sunrise looks like? Oh yes, look at that. Sun's not quite up yet, but some great morning views nevertheless. Right, time to get some breakfast on.
I'm hoping you can hear that little bird singing. It's fair tweeting away. It really is. Well, that is the all-day breakfast absolutely demolished this morning. I was ready for that. I really was. And what a breathtaking view to enjoy it too. The sun is just peeking above the hills in the distance there. What a cracking place to camp this is, it really is. Beautiful views towards Helm Crag there. Langdales in the background just lit up with the sunrise. Got some moody clouds in amongst this lovely blue morning sky. Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant. Grasmere and Rydal water look absolutely idyllic this morning with this amazing sunrise we've got going on over there. I'm going to go and make a start tearing the tent down and packing my rucksack and stuff, and then I'll bring you back one final time before I head down the mountain and get myself home. Well, that's me. I'm all packed up and ready to go home from the best solo wild camp and the best pitch I've ever had in my life. If you guys are into your wild camping or you're walking and you haven't been up Silver How, I highly, highly recommend you do so. The views up here are just insane. That is my rucksack packed and ready to go. Silly me left his bin bag at home, so I've had to sacrifice the dry bag that my sleeping bag was in to put my rubbish in and take it back down the hill. So as always, and as it should be, I've left no trace. One final look around this amazingly beautiful pitch. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this one. I hope you've all enjoyed it as much as I have. So once again, until next time, stay safe, much love from a Cumbrian lad.